Living with absolutely shocking appearances and surviving the bizarreness of nature, these strange creatures of dense forest got everyone talking.
Where the hell did you find that thing?
So, hang on to know the darker side of jungles that will leave you on the edge. Skeletal remains. Imagine waking up to see what your cat has brought home from the nearby forest.
Where the hell did you find that thing?
It was a tiny skeletal figure with a rusty, thin frame, enough to creep the guy out.
Why don't you bring home rats instead?
The remains were weirdly shrunken, almost as if it was the skeletal remains of a pixie or a goblin. However, no one could be sure what exactly it was. But it is strange to see tiny creatures like this exist around us, isn't it? Conjoined Turtle. This conjoined turtle was captured by a guy fishing on the river. It had a pair of heads and a bizarre spiky shell with a set of 4 claws. They often struggle to survive, or in some cases, the mother might even see them as a source of protein. But against all odds, this conjoined turtle seems to be thriving. Mother Nature sure has the ability to amaze us. Strange dog. A man was strolling in the jungle when he came across something so terrifying that no one had ever seen before. Don't believe me? Here, have a look at this. Behind the trees, a strange creature with a pig-like face and a quadrupedal stance, resembling a dog, was peering back at the cameraman. It looked like the dog creature was ready to hunt him down, as it showed aggressiveness towards the man, almost as if it was a warning to him to step out of its territory. Luckily, that was all for this guy from the hybrid dog, and he managed to escape. Mushroom head. Take a look at this strange video. A tiny group of pixies were caught on camera, lurking in a thick forest. And just when they sensed they were being recorded, they instantly fled from sight. Is it true that these creatures live among us? While I know some of you might be skeptical about this, it's hard to ignore the video evidence. In capturing the mystical creatures in action, this video is a remarkable proof. Lionhead runner. A man managed to capture a clip of a strange creature running alongside the road. This little guy looked so confused, almost like it didn't know where to go. The odd animal hybrid kept trying to escape the area, but every attempt turned out to be a failure. Whatever this creature was, it definitely seemed scared of people, which is mainly why it rushed to the other side, not revealing its identity to anyone around. Escaping dinosaur. The next video made me believe that dinosaurs still exist. Take a look at it yourself. The man in the video is seen removing a cloth from a weird creature, and as soon as it is removed, the creature escapes quickly. The creature has a long tail and small head, making it look like a Velociraptor, one of the smartest dinosaurs to have ever existed, which, by the way, is the main reason why it wants to stay out of sight. What are your thoughts on it? Slithery Monster. This little spiky creature washed up at the shore with its slimy, spiky, and strange patterns on its body that can be very unsettling to look at. However, it was later identified as a sea hare. It's fascinating how something that's perfectly ordinary in its own habitat can appear so bizarre and unsettling when viewed from a different perspective. Nature has a way of surprising us, and sometimes those surprises can be both beautiful and a little creepy. Creepy worm. This looks like something straight out of a science fiction movie. An 8-foot-long centipede with a dark brown body and a bizarre number of legs was captured by an explorer. The fact that it can spit venom and emit electric shocks is what makes it a nightmarish creature. While people find it hard to believe, as it's certainly not something we're used to seeing in the natural world, and it doesn't mean it's not true. El Chupacabra. It's one of the most vicious mythical creatures. Believing it actually exists is a hard pill to swallow. But what if I show you something that proves its existence that would be pretty wild? In Texas, a local found a carcass that didn't quite fit any ordinary animal description at first. People thought it might be a stray dog or even a goat. The carcass had these sharp teeth and a hairless, twisted body that made it seem like it could be something straight out of a nightmare. But when biologists took a closer look, they claimed it was an Chupacabra. Pterosaur. The trees can't always hide the mysteries of the jungle. Check out this footage of a prehistoric creature that was caught on camera. This clip was shot in Idaho, where a mysterious creature was seen taking flight. What caught everyone's attention is its wings and mouth that look nothing like we've seen in birds today. Now, why this creature is suddenly appearing in the jungle is a total mystery. How could it show up after all these years? Maybe some ancient eggs have finally hatched, or perhaps these creatures have been hiding from us all along. Stinging moth. This bizarre creature looks like it belongs to the Paleozoic era, because no one has ever seen something like this in modern times. This footage shows a moth that resembles a scorpion, striking in thin air, and if you look closely, you'd see that it has tiny wings. A Paleozoic creature or just another species ready to be discovered? Well guys, if you ask me, I believe it's a new species. Feral people. Imagine venturing into the woods alone and stumbling upon something like this. A creature lurking behind the trees and shadows looking back at the cameraman as if it's trying to say something. It has a man-like figure with a bald head and shiny teeth. How unsettling it is! Honestly, I can't help but to think that feral people might really exist out there, probably hiding from the world. Pixie's skeleton. Could this strange footage finally prove the existence of fairies or pixies? Because what the footage shows, it's definitely not unusual. A decomposed skull and a bunch of curling bones that are way too small to be identified as humans. Researchers added more strange information about it, confirming that this is no ordinary creature, but something entirely unknown. It's oddly scary to see that such creatures are real and living among us. Jellylike fish. Just imagine being out fishing and coming across a fish that looks something out of a sci-fi movie. A see-through jelly-like body, and the fact that it has a long tail and centipede-like legs inside. That's definitely not your everyday catch. Woo. It is truly amazing to see something like this in the wilderness. This man so convinced of goblins that he went out in search of goblins when he spotted one right in front of him. A bald little creature on the hunt for food. This is definitely a rare moment. It must have been surreal for him to finally see something he believed in so strongly. It's hard to capture these moments. Pixie Spotted. A man got lucky when he saw he got the opportunity to catch this little creature. It must have been quite a sight to see this tiny creature running around in the forest. Trying to dart away as soon as it realized it was being filmed. The tiny creature was bald and rusty colored with a little tiny backpack around his bag that seemed like it was out on a journey. Running creature. A man is driving back home through a thick forest. When he finally parks his car in front of his house, something strange happens. The car lights flash on a creature standing on its hind legs. It's furry with big claws, and as soon as it's caught in the light, it starts running back into the wilderness. What was this creature doing outside his house? And what exactly was it? Guys, I believe it was a dog man, because there is no other creature who can stand up like that and has such unusual features. After seeing this video, I'm convinced they exist. Creature in dark. A man out in the forest at night when he came across something horrifying. It was unclear at first, but as he drew closer, he realized something was horribly wrong. The figure appeared human from a distance. But up close, its features seemed distorted and animal-like. The mysterious creature could either be a skinwalker or a new species of animal yet to discover. 9 tails. An unknown person recorded this strange sighting somewhere deep inside of a forest. A bright creature can easily be seen in the distance, jumping around as if it was excited to finally catch a prey, which turned out to be the cameraman.
Damn it.
This creature had many tails, just like the Chinese legend of the 9-tailed fox. It later became part of Japanese folklore under the name of Kubi no Kitsune. This video proved that this creature was not just a myth, but a reality. Creature on trailer. A group of friends camping in the forest starts hearing a shrilling noise nearby.
What was that, Random?
At first, they laughed it off, thinking it's nothing too serious. But when something suddenly jumps on their trailer, their laughter quickly turns into complete terror. It was definitely an alien, or something far more sinister, considering how quickly it vanished. Gray alien. A biker was speeding through a thick forest track when suddenly a strange creature falls from a tree. This makes the biker quickly stop to look back. But there was nothing behind him. Unfortunately, he could only catch a glimpse of it, and it was a grayish human-like figure that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Maybe an alien or even a skinwalker. It's hard not to think this was a hungry gray alien looking for food. I mean, why else would it fall out of the tree right as the biker passes by? That can't be a coincidence, right? Smiling creature. A strange road passing through the thick forest when the driver encounters a humanoid creature with a creepy smile, directing him to turn right. The natural instinct might be to follow the directions out of curiosity. But there's also a strong urge to play it safe and avoid what feels like an unsettling encounter. It's probably best to be cautious and not follow directions if it seems too bizarre or dangerous. Sometimes the best choice is to trust your instincts and avoid potential risks. Hollow-eyed bird. This footage of the owl with its pitch-black eyes and eerie head movements could easily send shivers down anyone's spine.
Your strength don't finish. Your evil act don't finish.
Why back at
No
them?
evil strength again.
The exaggerated and unsettling motions you're seeing are beyond normal behavior. Maybe the owl is possessed by some evil spirit, or it could be sick. What are your thoughts about it? I don't think it's an ordinary owl. It has something in its eyes that shows it's strange. Carcass feasting. When we hear the word feasting, our mouth starts to water. But what you're going to see right now is very unappealing. A strange carcass was found on the ground getting feasted on by thousands of maggots and flies. At first, the wildlife photographer was unable to identify the species of the carcass. However, after further examination, it was identified as a male gaol, who probably met its end during a predatory fight and ended up like this. Giant Thunderbird. In July 1977, a wildlife photographer was asked to film a thunderbird reported in central Illinois. For those of you who don't know, this pitch-black mythical bird is considered to be a power of strength in Native American mythology, and this time it was seen flapping its wings high in the sky. Although it raised the question, that was how it was possible for a mythical bird to exist in reality. I guess it's better to believe our eyes. Dinosaur Remains. These two sets of dinosaur remains found in China, dating back over 80 million years, are just mind-blowing. One of the species has been identified as Lufengaceris, which was a hefty 9 meters long. The fact that it had multiple vertebrae and complete hind legs was pretty remarkable. The second set of fossils, found about 500 meters away from the remains by road maintenance workers, was also considered a huge find, especially since they were about 70% intact. These details really helped paleontologists understand how the creatures evolved, and they also solidified our understanding of these ancient creatures. Velociraptor. A man installed a trail camera in the forest to look for unknown creatures, when luckily he found a strange creature running through the jungle. With those small T-Rex-like hands, a long tail, and that reptilian face, it definitely had a prehistoric vibe to it. But unfortunately, the camera could only capture a glimpse of it as it quickly got out of sight. However, I believe it was a Velociraptor, but let me know what you think it was. Camouflage. This strange footage of an even stranger bird was captured by an explorer. With its gray and white feathers, the bird, who was just chilling on top of a tree, shocked the online community as people began calling it a demonic bird. A little research showed me that it was just a potu bird, a weird yet a scientifically identified bird that is rarely found in the woods. It's wild how perfectly it blends in. I mean, it's almost terrifying how on point its camouflage is. You really have to look closely to even spot it. Gorilla bird. Have you ever heard of a gorilla bird? Yeah, me neither. But if you want to see one, you've got to stick around for this video. Netizens are going wild over this footage of a crow, calling it a gorilla crow, because it looks like it never skips arm day. This sparked a huge debate over whether it is an average crow or a mythical bird. So guys, if you ask me, I don't believe it's just an ordinary bird, because which bird on earth could flip its wings like this? Reptilian bird. A bird with the face of a Komodo Dragon. Now that's a combination that would definitely leave people scratching their heads. This aggressive little guy is flapping its wings, trying to eagerly escape the place. But it's such a bummer when a creature like this slips away before it can be identified. It leaves us with even more questions, as this remains a mystery to this day. Yoda Bat. Have you ever seen a mammal that looks like Master Yoda? If not, then let's get into this video. The tube-nosed bat was found from the rainforests of New Guinea. It has a rounder jaw and a grin that gives off some serious vibes. Other than that, they can fly like an average bat. The only difference is their face, and it's officially recognized as a new species. Humanoid Snake. This strange discovery has been made by Malaysian Aborigines. They found a creature with the body of a snake in the face of a human. Initially, there were two of them, but one managed to escape. Fortunately, they caught the other, which resembled a female beast that stepped straight out of myth and legend. Although it's incredibly rare to encounter such a creature on our planet, this bizarre find made everyone believe the Gorons in Greek mythology. Gorgons were monsters known for their hair made of snakes. So were these the ancient monsters or something else entirely? Mexican fairy. A mummified fairy was brought to the Museum of Santa Barbara. It has a tiny humanoid body with two tiny wings, and the dental structure was strangely laid back. After examining the legitimacy of the creature, it was found out that the specimen was a hoax gluing together the parts of the bats. This raises a question: if it was fake, then why is it displayed in the museum? Guys, I think the government is trying to cover it up.
Las características fisonómicas que tiene el organismo este.
Making us believe it was fake, probably because they want to hide the existence of fairies from us. Leucistic bald eagle. Just like all those other fascinating albino creatures out there, albino birds are a thing too. Take this bald eagle, for example. It has a genetic mutation called leucism, which means it's lost some of its melanin. So instead of the classic dark feathers, it looks like it just walked out of a saloon after a serious bleach job. But here's the catch: albino or leucistic birds are super rare. That's why you don't hear people using the birds of a feather flock together saying as much when it comes to these unique beauties. They really stand out in the crowd. Crawling vampire. This clip really had everyone scratching their heads. People were totally shocked by this bizarre crawling creature with those short legs bent at such a strange angle. Just look at the way it's crawling on the ground. but the uploader quickly cleared up the mystery. Turns out it was just a vampire bat. Who would have thought? So the lesson here is clear. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Sometimes that mythical creature is just a little critter trying to quench its thirst. Always good to keep our curiosity in check. Inside the cave. Imagine exploring the woods and stumbling upon something truly unsettling. You walk into a cave and the creature staring back at you is dark and creepy with shining eyes. What you just stumbled upon is a cave full of Sasquatches living inside. So guys, next time you're out exploring the woods on your own, be careful. You might just come across something horrifying like this. Stay safe out there and keep your eyes peeled. Hobbit People. In East Java, Indonesia, two locals caught something on camera that you wouldn't believe until you see it with your own eyes. A bunch of human-like figures with thick hair running away from people's sight. What are these strange creatures? Netizens believe that this is not something ordinary because if they were humans, why would they run away from the local fishermen? They believe that these creatures are hobbits. Lifeless fairy. A guy was near a pile of bushes thinking he spotted an ordinary butterfly, but when he got closer and caught it, it turned out to be something totally bizarre. A skeletal creature with butterfly-like wings. It was almost lifeless, just barely moving its legs. It was so strange and unsettling that it looked like it belonged in a museum. What do you all think? Comment down below. Humanoid creature. A traveler sets out to explore a dense forest when he suddenly stumbles upon a humanoid creature waiting to catch his attention. As his camera pans through the woods, it captures this small, pitch-black figure with eccentric and almost alien-like features. Just when you think the man would run for his life, the creature escapes too. It seems like both were equally terrified of each other. It's as if the creature just wanted to make its presence known before disappearing into the shadows. Mutant alien creature. An operator was exploring in a deep forest at dusk. As the daylight is dimming, he wants to go back to his camp, when suddenly a rustling noise nearby grabs his attention. When he turns the camera towards the sound, thinking that it just might be an animal, that's when the horror begins that startled him. A faint humanoid alien figure moves between the branches. The creature has a tall, thin frame and glowing eyes piercing through the traveler's fear. The traveler runs as he sees the creature. What an odd day to be out in the wilderness. Instead of encountering a bear, he encounters a strange creature. Flying creature. A woman was in her car when she spotted something strange on top of a branch of a tree. Although the video is unclear, we can clearly see that it is neither a human nor an animal. It is definitely some sort of strange creature looking down at the people. Initially, it looks like a crab-shaped creature with a human body on top. Just when you think it couldn't get any stranger, you realize this creature has wings. It suddenly takes flight and vanishes out of sight.
¿Estás viendo eso? ¡Ay, hueputa!
The whole scene is beyond shocking because no average creature looks like it. It leaves you to wonder what other mysteries are hidden in the trees. Real gargoyle. You're about to witness something that you will question even if it's real. A bizarre creature was seen sitting on top of a cliff hunting for prey when this person captured it in the act. After zooming, the creature can be seen much more clearly. It doesn't look like any animal or human that has ever been seen before. Shockingly, two wings just popped out of its back, scaring the cameraman, and they ran away. The description of this creature matches a gargoyle that is said to keep evil spirits away, but this one seems to be evil itself. Jungle creature. Indonesian residents are searching for this mysterious creature that has been seen outside one of their towns. It was first captured on camera accidentally when these farmers were out looking for one of their missing goats. But to their shock, this creature jumped out from behind the bushes where they last saw the goat, and it was being very defensive. This enigmatic creature had humanoid features, but the head looked like an ape with long fur. The men in the video can be seen frightened to approach it and get any closer. But this video helped the residents of Indonesia understand what exactly was causing all the chaos. Tunnel creature. A boy walks into a strange pitch-black tunnel.
I'm like screaming or something in this tunnel. I'm gonna go check it out.
But as he goes deeper, he hears loud screams echoing from within. Surprisingly, he doesn't hesitate and keeps moving forward. As he ventures further, the screams grow sharper and more intense. Suddenly, a skinwalker-like creature appears. Its long, twisted limbs making it look even more terrifying. The moment he sees it, he bolts out of the tunnel, and you can bet he's never going back in there again. Talk about a spine-chilling experience. Smiling devil. A strange creature was discovered deep in the thick forest of Mexico, and it's unlike anything anyone has ever seen before. The poor thing is decomposed and has lost its color. It had wings and an eerie, grinning smile that's just unsettling to see. And what's even stranger are the threads covering its body. The locals in Pueblo, shocked by this oddity, hunted it down. It marks the end for the creature, but now it's becoming an artifact, capturing the attention of those who hear its tale. Scaly creature. A group of tourists were absolutely stunned when they spotted this terrifying creature. Don't believe me? Just take a look. This strange being looks like a crocodile, but has the face of a Komodo dragon. It's slithering from one spot to another, trying to hide from the viewers. Its upper body is scaly, clearly visible as it quickly slides into the muddy water. It really looks like a hybrid between a dragon and a crocodile. Talk about a wild sight.
You didn't find anything.
You can only imagine the shock of the tourists' faces when they saw this bizarre creature in action. Furry creature. I guess when it comes to being unlucky, we're not the only ones on the list. This horse rider was having a really bad day when he stumbled upon a weird furry creature that instantly attacked him on sight. You can see the big furry tail as it kicks the horse, causing the rider to fall off. The horse panics and takes off, leaving the man in quite an unpleasant situation. Talk about a rough encounter. I can't imagine what was going through his mind when that creature came out of nowhere. Decomposed creature. Fusion animals have been living alongside us for a very long time, but this one right here is way too unnatural that it gets a bit questionable. This questionable creature, which is a blend of both a Komodo dragon and skunk, washed up at the beach of Australia. Its unusual characteristics gives out that it must be a result of something fishy going on in a lab. But unfortunately, before we could look more into this creature, it got decomposed and colorless. Silver orb. If you want to look for unusual creatures into the woods, installing cams in the wilderness would be a great idea. That's what these two investigators did.
We have those trail cam or game cameras in some of the parts of the property.
Instead of finding a skinwalker, they recorded something unexpected. A big silver orb that appeared out of nowhere.
Right there. Oh, wow. Holy cow.
And just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished from sight within seconds. This mysterious sphere intrigued the investigators as they have never witnessed anything like that before. This footage started taking rounds on the internet, and some people who have witnessed these objects before believe that it is related to the existence of extraterrestrial beings. Creepy crawler. This sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. Imagine wandering through the forest and coming across this pitch-black creature with fur around its face, all on 4 legs and looking incredibly aggressive. It must have been a shock for everyone involved. It's really bizarre that it's showing such aggression toward people. I mean, what's it doing out there? If they've caught one, who knows how many others might be lurking around in the shadows. This could be the start of a whole new chapter in forest legends. Let's hope they can figure out what's going on before more people run into these many beasts. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. What a strange sight we have here. If not, then you're not alone. Neither am I. A man recorded this video of a lemur, which at first looked like some kind of strange animal.
The fuck is that? Ah, get away! Get away! Is it dead? I think it's fucking dead. Okay.
It resembled a mutated bat with some sort of virus. In other words, the guy had no clue what he was looking at. Although the video cuts here, when it was uploaded on the internet, people identified it as a lemur. Yeah, a docile flying creature that accidentally landed on the guy's yard.